Hi, this is Amanda. We're back again with part 2 of an intro to pouring. So now we're going to show you how to mix up paint. So let's get into it. So right now I'm going to move this stuff out the way and I'm going to show you how to mix up your paint. I already mixed 3 of the colors that we're going to use. I'm only going to mix 1 of the colors and I'm pulling out a scale. A scale, for the first 6 months of doing art, I did not use a scale. And you get a flow for the feel of the consistency, but sometimes it's just different consistency, and so sometimes you think maybe it's just a paint. Different paints have different weights, and so things happen when your paint is not mixed right. So if your paint is too thin, you see this outline of here, on the outer skirts of your picture, and when it dries it will start to show the canvas up. So if you mix too thin, you get these problems. If you mix too thick, your paint will craze, is what they call it. It's so your paint dries at different levels, and when it dries, some dries faster than the other, your paint starts to make this kind of textury effect, and they call it crazing. They have stuff that you can use, that you put in your paint to stop crazing. Actually, this is one of my son's pictures, and he likes too much paint no matter how much I tell him not to, and so he crazes often. I use a scale now to mix my paint. When you're messing with craft paint, the ratio is going to be 1:1 paint and your medium, and a little bit of water depending on the color. So red required a little bit of water, blue did not. I don't know if that's just this blue. I'm really not good with science, so this blue required more blue. Because it's craft paint, the consistency, because it's cheap paint, is not always there. So we're going to find out when we mix the purple up if the consistency is there for the purple. So when you're mixing, cheap alternatives for cups to mix in. So this is a paper bathroom cup. I got it from the Dollar Tree. It comes with 36 in it. These are just 2-3 ounces, and I mix in there. Sometimes I use plastic cups to mix in. Sometimes I use yogurt containers. You can use yogurt containers. You can use anything you can recycle if you're a recycler, to make it cheaper on you in the process. So let's make sure that you can see me. When I'm mixing my paint, I'm mixing grams, because each paint has a different weight to them, versus just mixing in ounces. And so I'm going to do a 1:1 ratio. So I'm going to do 20 grams of paint and 20 grams of my medium. And so I'm going to do 21 grams of paint. If you're doing craft paint, I always recommend to just stir it up a little bit, because sometimes the consistency of it is chunky. Also, if you're using craft paint that you've had in your closet for months, years ago, make sure that it's smooth with no chunks before you do this process. If it has chunks in it, it will leave chunks on your picture. We're at 20% 21, and then I'm going to add to get to 40. And so when you're mixing your paint, remember to scrape the bottom of your cup and the sides of your cup. craft paint is tricky when it comes to mixing. Okay, that's better. When you're dealing with the best thing about artistry paint, like Artist Loft, it's thicker. So your ratio is 1 part paint. Some people do 2 parts medium. I use 1.5 part medium and a 0.5% water because they're so much thicker. So your paint goes a lot farther, makes better colors, but it is more expensive. So that is mix my paint. This is alcohol, rubbing alcohol. So I have rubbing alcohol. I put a couple drops in there and I stir it up to get rid of the air bubbles in the paint. So that helps you get rid of the air bubbles before you torch. So I put alcohol in every one of these cups already. Now let's talk about making cells. So you need silicone or some form of silicone to make cells. So this came from Home Depot. It's in the paint section. Ask them for silicone, they'll show you where you can find it. Now this is a hair serum that I get off of Amazon. It's called OGX. It's coconut milk, smells really good, and it works awesome for making cells. It doesn't take a lot. This stuff takes anywhere between 5 to 7 drops. This takes 1 drop. This makes cells. This makes really good cells. This has like a smell from like paint. This smells like coconut. So whatever you can get your hands on. I had to get this from Amazon. I could not find it at the store where I live. So if you don't shop on Amazon, I don't know where to tell you to get it from. If you don't shop online, I don't know where to tell you to get it from. So if you don't do online shopping, your only choice is going to Home Depot and finding a silicone or a Lowe's or an art supply store near you. This you can get offline and it works really, really good. I'm going to show you both of them. I'll put them in. So this only takes 1 drop. Alright, I'll put 2 in this and then I'll show you. This, so this takes, whoa, that was not drops. It's not what I'm going to say that's got enough because I really don't know. I have no idea how many drops hit that. We'll count the drops out here. We'll try better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just make sure we got some good drops going on because I think it's more than an ounce. So this, do like 1 or 2 stirs. If you want big cells, you stir less when it comes to this stuff from Home Depot, the 3-in-1 silicone. The less you stir, the better off it is. Now with the coconut milk, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's really thick and it's really good and it can go through your whole stuff. Alright, so let's talk about preparing a cup to pour. Prepare a cup. You can do a dirty cup or you can do a flip cup. So I'm going to pour into a 5-ounce cup. These are just 5-ounce Dixies, Walmart. So I get whatever I can get on sale. If you are not poor, then don't worry about cost. But when you do a flip cup, you need to put white. You don't need to, but I put white in it because white's heavier, one of the heaviest. And so I start at the bottom with white and I put colors in. When I flip it, that white will push through the other colors and make cells. Thicker, so you need to check your consistency before you pour it in your cup. Alright, so I'm going to, so for a flip cup, I'm going to pour down the side to make layers. So we're going to start with blue. Gonna move to some red. There's really no rhyme or reason which way you layer your cup. The only thing I would warn against is mixing all three of your primary colors, because when you mix all three of your primary colors, red, yellow, and blue, you will get some mucky mud in your pitcher. And so, right, I'm gonna pour down the side of the cup. See, I'm pouring down and making layers. I'll pour another set for this. You can go in the same order or not. I'm gonna go in the same order, and I'm gonna make a mess of my table, because it's just what I do. I just seen a chunk in that blue, and I got to make sure I watch where it goes on the paper on the thing so that I don't have a chunk in my picture. Okay, so I'm gonna cross my cup, and then I'm just gonna let it sit there for a minute. Now, when you're doing a dirty pour, you don't have to put white at the bottom of your cup. I generally will, just because I like what white does to my cells. So when I say a dirty pour, you don't have to go down the side of the cup. You want to make reactions happen in your cup, and so you can pour it from up high in different areas of the same area, whatever works for you. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just random, and it makes a dirty cup, since the dirty cup pour concept. If you're going to mix, like you see that this paint, there's 4 different colors I'm making 2 tiles with. So when you mix up paint, you either need to make enough pours so that it goes, so you go through it, or I'm just going to save some in case I don't have enough, or you need to store it. And so if you things
Hi guys, it's Amanda. So I had to cut this video into 3 different parts. So if you look in the description of this video, you will find a link to the 3rd part to this video, where we actually do a flip cup pour and 2 dirty pours. So I hope that you come back or go to my page and you can find the 3rd part to this video. Thank you for spending time with us, and I hope you enjoyed.